You know, Dragon Ball Super is really starting, man, to kind of get underneath my skin. Not necessarily because of most people keep constantly making all these videos of our Zamasu and Black. Are they pretty much like some of the greatest villains in the Dragon Ball history? At this point, it's more or less like that. Say at this point, they are kind of on the same vein as Garlic Jr. to me, of saying like that. Even though that they may be immortal, they are nowhere near as strong or as powerful as Goku and Vegeta, or pretty much even Trunks in this matter. Because again, if they weren't immortal, as this episode pretty much proved, well, not the last episode, in this episode, like specifically, they pretty much proved that if they didn't have the immortality, that they probably would have been dead a long time ago. Especially when Goku when like he got angry and he pretty much just shut them both down, like with no hesitation, just shut them both down. And of course, like they kind of showed that as well. This episode with the whole with the Omega Super Trunks thing of him going and pretty much wrecking house against those two to where that they barely could stop him, or even Vegeta for that matter. So again, are these two great villains? Not necessarily, because again, if they are strong enough to pretty much like destroy all of the gods around the world with no problem, you know, even though they did get an upper hand upon Vegeta and Goku and Trunks, even though they did all of that, you would think that they probably could have just blew up the entire planet if they pretty much wiped out life everywhere else, like in the universe. So that is something to take into consideration. And besides, even when Black, when he did take Goku's body the first time, who's to say that he couldn't have just used like his god-based powers to pretty much wipe out the rest of the world? You know, I mean, again, at that point, like Beerus and everybody else pretty much like really weren't on his radar. So that is something to take into consideration. But as it stands, pretty much Goku and Vegeta have to retreat again. I still don't know why they didn't give Goku a Senzu bean, even though, you know, that they left Mai with like a big ass sack full of them. But you know, but from that, it's like, well, now that everybody knows like what Black told Goku, everybody knows like that these things say that this is sort of fucking up now. Now what is their only defense? Mafubot. In this case, the fucking demon sealing move that fucking Master Roshi and pretty much his master and also Kami used upon King Piccolo and also younger Piccolo to pretty much seal him in a jar so that so that he's stuck in there for all eternity. However, I kind of strictly remember them forgetting like a strong key factor about that goddamn move. You know, well, it could just be that. It could just be the fact that Master Roshi and his master were over the age of like 300 at the time when they used it. So it's a good chance that the reason why when they used it they fucking automatically died versus when Goku uses it, and also when Kami used it all those years ago, why they didn't die. But still, you think about that and it's like, wait a second, shouldn't they fucking die if they use that? And also, it's very difficult to say, well, since that this move has only been used on Piccolo, who pretty much at that point in time was sort of classified as a demon, we don't necessarily know like if this will actually have the same applicants as using it upon a human. But again, this kind of changes some things, because again, we know now that King Piccolo wasn't necessarily a demon. He was in fact a Namek. A Namekian. So again, this possibly could also work on Black and Zamasu. But the real question is, does this work on upon multiple targets? Because again, this move has only been used on a single target. You know, and I believe the first time when Master Roshi used it on King Piccolo, one of his kids jumped in the way and then he missed. And that's what led to his death. So I think that's pretty much something that kind of builds up with this. But until then, though, that is what I got to say about that. Please tell me what you think about this down there in the comment section. This has been Recap Corner, and I'm out.